Nice,
Hi, Alex.
nice to have you again in our live stream. I want to say that I am traveling. I am in Germany right now, and yes, we are. It's the live stream before the Easter, so let's see how many viewers we're going to have. That is going to be very interesting. I chose today a topic that I can talk about it for hours.
Well, we only have 20 minutes, so let's try
Yes,
and keep it
we have
concise.
only 20 minutes, but the topic which is online marketing reality and what works.
Mm.
Because I have the impression that normal people like us with normal business, which are not marketing gurus, or they are not specialists, or they are trying to find a viable way to advertise their business. I face so far so many obstacles, and some things did work for me, other things did not work at all.
Mm.
So the biggest challenge that I see in this online marketing world is the biggest challenge is to evaluate correctly what is going to bring realistic results to your business. What do you think?
Yeah, I think what's really hard when you're starting is that there's so much choice, right? And there's so many options. So, we've gone from not having any to having too many. And when you're starting, it's really important, I think, to decide. Well, you need to go where your audience is, right? So it's figuring out where your audience is, which platform they're on, where they're going to see these ads. Are they, you know, it has to do with geography, demographics, so many things. So that's why it's really important to understand who your client is, and where they get their information from and where they see ads, before you create any marketing strategy or any plan. And because they're like, I mean, just like us, they're bombarded on their phone constantly from all sources. But if we can all curate our feeds, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Instagram, deciding what we want to see and not see, and understanding where our clients are and what they're looking at and what's interesting to them and where they hang out, because there's now so many social platforms, but also communities and groups, is really important before you decide. So it's not getting overwhelmed at first with trying
Yes.
to do too many things and trying to be everywhere, and figuring out where, like, at least one place where you need to hang out where most of your clients are, right?
Yes, so I totally agree with you. So for me, initially the biggest challenge was that I couldn't evaluate what I should do and what I should not do.
Mm.
So if you are on a B2B space like me and you are, I found all the platforms outside of LinkedIn that are platforms that simply they don't work. Maybe they even damage your image, and certainly they are a waste of time and waste of energy.
Mm.
You have also to think that it's also not it's where are your potential clients, but where are your potential clients and in what mood they are.
Mm.
So is Facebook, for example, the proper place to
Yeah.
have content related to your business while somebody goes on Facebook to relax and talk with his friends?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that is something. So I would advise somebody, and that's a legit advice that I can give. So go with one, two streams that you want to advertise your business, see how it goes, and then probably you can add more, but don't start with everything. Don't
Mm.
start with Facebook and Twitter and Google ads and do this and do that. So start small.
Yeah, I made that mistake, and I got totally overwhelmed after 3 months. I was
Of
trying to do
course.
everything on every platform. I got completely overwhelmed, and I decided to pull back and really focus on the
Of
platform.
course, of course, of course. You it's the amount of work that needs to be done. unless you have somebody, a specialist that does it for you.
Yeah.
But this specialist needs really to be a specialist, because the last years I heard many so-called specialists that they had less clue that I had. So
Yeah.
it's an immense amount of work, the different social media. Another thing that I noticed is that so what works for me are two things. The one is LinkedIn is guarantee something that works on my space, on a B2B space. And the second thing that works is SEO, so search engine optimization. So I created my website, and what I did on this website is I chased some low-hanging keywords. That means some keywords that they do not have many clicks. They are not searched that much, but they are easier to get a good positioning. So if you have, it's easier to get 100 keywords, low-hanging keywords, to get on position number 1 or on the first page of Google than to try to get in a very good position on a very hard competitive keyword. So now, why I say that about SEO? Because I wanted to make to show the difference between SEO and the easy solution, which is let's do Google Ads, where the results are immediate. Yes, okay, the results are immediate, but the quality of the outcome, it's not the same. And there is one basic thing that you need to understand behind that. One thing is you genuinely search for a specific keyword, and another thing is that I put a banner in front of your eyes, or I put an ad in front of your eyes, and I trigger your click, and maybe I spark your interest, but the interest is artificially triggered. Therefore, the quality is not as good as the quality generated through SEO.
Yeah. And I think what, to your point, what you said earlier is about, I mean, I'm not a marketeer, and I've spent a lot of time trying to learn all about this, because obviously in my previous life, I had a whole marketing department supporting me, and which was amazing. But now when you're on your own, you have to understand all these things, understand, how it works, where to go, how you generate interest. And it's important to not try and do it all alone. I think, to your point earlier on, when you were saying, unless you have someone to help you, I think there's a moment where you have to ask for help, and you have to acknowledge, either get someone to help you understand how to do it. So learn from somebody, get a course, get a coach or somebody, or hire somebody to do it for you who's a professional and will do it properly, because it takes an amount of time that's, I mean, I can go down rabbit holes with the marketing stuff when I start designing in Canva or stuff like that. And the problem is, that's not the most important thing you should be doing. It's important, but it's part of the whole sales process, and sales is really important too. And so if you're spending more time on marketing than sales, there's a problem. You need to find that balance. And when you start getting sales, you need to probably, when things start coming in, that's what you should be focusing on more, the client service and speaking to your clients and lead generation and all that. And maybe that's the moment where you need to basculate and delegate to somebody else the marketing side, because having talked with a lot of entrepreneurs the last year, is a lot of them who have now succeeded have all said the same thing. They all said, my only regret is that I didn't delegate earlier, that they didn't delegate some of their business earlier, because they could have scaled much quicker.
Of course. So that is, I mean, absolutely correct. I agree with you. But how, Maria, I mean, realistically saying, how much does everything cost in order to have somebody to delegate, and in order to have also a ratio between money spent on marketing and expected, let's say, revenue, expected new sales that you're going to generate. If I can take the easy example, Google Ads, for example. Google Ads is something that it always was mysterious for me, because you did a campaign and suddenly for 1 week everything was amazing, and then the next week nothing happened, while you spent exactly the same amount, you advertised exactly at the same audience. So I never understood how it works. And because you say you are not a marketeer, I studied marketing at the university, so I am in theory a marketeer. I mean, I never practiced that, but that is what I studied 30 years ago when the internet did not exist. And we talked back then about the 4 P's of marketing. Now they are 7 P's or 8 P's. But I remember back then, the biggest challenge what regards advertising was the lack of transparency. So you didn't know. So you put an ad on a newspaper and you didn't really know how many clients came from that ad. And when the internet came, everybody said, wow, at least now we're going to have transparency. We're going to know how many people viewed, how many people clicked. And I mean, the complexities on that deep level, that again, you don't have transparency. And in my opinion, it's also manipulated from the big companies. So I have experiences through Facebook ads that I did in the past that were, I felt crooked, to be honest. So the results that the conclusions that I get out of my marketing activities are more based on my intuition and my feeling about how things go than data. But that is not the way it should be.
But I think also in your marketing strategy, you have various goals, right? There's some part of your marketing is going to be about raising awareness about who you are. Some is going to be about, putting you out there as the expert in your field, and some are going to be about converting into sales. So depending what your goal is, also, I think you'll approach it in a different way, and you're going to be using different assets and maybe different platforms to speak to your clients. So it's not, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like the marketing, there's the sort of what you put out there as a post or as an ad, but then there's all the other side, which is interacting with clients online directly, or potential clients through direct messaging and things like that, which I think that's where, at least on LinkedIn, that's where my experience is. On LinkedIn, that's where a lot of stuff happens, is when you get into the messages and you start having conversations with people. Because if you just put things out and they're social platforms, right? So you have to be social and you have to be interacting.
Yes.
When you have those connections and interactions and discussions with people, that actually creates opportunities, and hopefully you get them off the platform and manage to have a call with them and start, seeing if you can convert.
I am, through my business and as a person, I'm a direct communication person. So I love direct communication. However, the ideal customer that I get in my business is the customer that has the right criteria that I want him to have, and he shows interest himself on my business or on something that is related to my business. That is also the client that converts to a paying client. Now starting direct messaging. Okay, you can say it's a numbers game, okay, and I get the picture. you need to evaluate what brings more and better results. That is my idea on that. So what I certainly don't like to do is I don't want to shoot the spaghetti cannon, but they say, so you put spaghetti in a cannon and you shoot it against the wall and you hope something sticks.
Yeah.
Although we talk it's a numbers game, but it's not my style to shout for my business. So I want to be open to speak and spark the interest for somebody to talk to me, and let's see if a business can come. It's not necessary. I'm not necessarily chasing a business. Okay. A good communication and advice. I'm very happy to advise people with no financial, without any benefit. So it's you need to let your heart be on that game and follow your heart and see what works best for your business, but also for you as a person. What is what makes you.
To be clear, I wasn't saying to cold message people.
Yes.
I don't send cold emails to people.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
No. For me, it's about but I think we're saying the same thing. It's about building relationships online with people who either can turn out to be somebody that you can help, or they might know someone you can help, or you can, or it could be the other way around. So for me, it's about building relationships, and the more relationships you build, and the more opportunities come along.
Yes, and there is genuine, at least from my side, there is genuine will to help people. Yeah. So yes, and that's how actually at the end, how also businesses start. It's not necessarily a business relationship from the beginning. But it's for me. I mean, right now I have 3 websites. I have the vParagon website, my personal website, and the Solution 29, which is a very new website. The vParagon website, it has a momentum, and it brings SEO traffic, which that's also the core and let's say the base of my business is the SEO traffic of my vParagon website. The other websites now, they don't have 0 traffic. Tell me why. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer to give you. I mean, it has a certain degree of success. I am number 1 in many keywords, and that's how I get clients. Now, how and what is the science behind? It's a mystery to me as well. I don't know.
We need to invite an SEO specialist, I guess.
Absolutely.
To ask the question.
I use a tool. I use SE Rankings, which is a tool that you can monitor the rankings of specific keywords. But that's all I do, and I can see for which keywords I come in number 1 position. Now, why those keywords are number 1 for this website and for the other website, no. I don't know, Maria. It's a mystery to me as well.
So you have the same keywords in all 3, and there's only one.
No, I don't have.
Okay.
But there are some that are the same. There are some, or it's the system logic on building the keywords on the second website as it is on the first website. The results, however, are completely different.
So what works for you? What do you think for online marketing?
For me, 2 things work. The one is SEO for my website, and specifically targeting low-hanging keywords, because on these keywords, you can come in the first page of Google. If you are not in the first page of Google, you don't exist. So second page is equal to nothing, basically. So low-hanging keywords on SEO, LinkedIn works, certainly. And sporadically, maybe some Google ads could also boost your present and your sales, but not as a long run, let's say, engagement. Also due to the fact that they are expensive.
Yeah.
They are expensive. Okay, I mean the money can go rapidly, very fast out of your pocket, and not necessarily bring clients in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't tried the ads yet. For me, it's been mainly through my network, LinkedIn, and email marketing.
Does email marketing work?
Yes, I find like I have much better and actually studies, and I've read a lot of stuff recently. Email marketing is much better return than any of the other marketing channels. So I've personally had really good results with that, and I'm actually going to do more. I feel like for me, LinkedIn is a great way to, grow my network and meet, find new connections, but also raise my profile. So I've started doing videos. I do videos twice a week. So videos, I think, is going to be really the future. And I do now. I want to focus really on email marketing to add to my LinkedIn activities.
But
that I do daily.
who do you email, Maria?
I have a very big network, so I email my network, and then also I've created a newsletter, and
Yes.
so people sign up to my newsletter, and I will be contacting them through newsletter or through email as well.
But this network that you say you have a big network, are people that subscribe in your website, or
It's a bit of both. It's mainly through LinkedIn, and it's
okay.
mainly through my network, my existing network that I had already, a big network.
So you are emailing them through the LinkedIn
No, directly.
platform directly.
No, directly. Yeah. These are direct emails to people who have agreed to receive my emails.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I read many books about creating funnels, and I do have a subscribe me button on my websites. It's not, however, it's not as successful as I expected it to be. From the one side, from the second side, I find many emails that I receive that they put me like on a let's say on a list where I receive every week a very generic email. It's not my cup of tea, so I'm a little bit skeptical about the whole the whole approach.
I think, I mean, it's you really need to create a strategy, and then you need to be consistent in following up, like not just sending generic emails, but sending regular emails with added with value that people are going to want to read, right?
Of course.
So I think it's there's a whole science to that too.
Of course, and now
the process of learning about it.
I think with ChatGPT now, content online is going to have an orgasmic year, or everybody's going to create content easily.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, I've played around with it, and I've noticed, I've been looking at online what's going on, and you notice the things that are written by ChatGPT that people haven't edited. Some people have just taken, write me a post and just copy pasted, and you recognize, for the moment, probably that will change, but for the moment you can recognize the pattern of ChatGPT when you ask him to create content. So I think if you want to be taken seriously, and for people to trust that what you're putting out there is legit, you can't just ask ChatGPT to do it for you. I think you can use it. It's a great tool to get ideas, to get structure, to get some content, or just even information. I was doing some research recently for my newsletter, and I asked ChatGPT for some, I really give some specific prompts what I was looking for, and it all came up very quickly. I asked for the sources so I could go in and check it. So the time that saved me in Googling each single thing, it just brought me up a whole bunch. So I think it's about using it smartly and in a way that you're not, that you're still putting
Of
out their
course.
original content that's yours, right? Because otherwise we're all going to be writing the same way, and
Exactly. Exactly.
that's
So
boring. Nobody's interested in reading that.
if everybody is using a technology,
Yeah.
and if the web is going to be overwhelmed and I don't know. I mean, where is the value then? If
Exactly.
you know. So I'm very skeptical with the new technology. So but as you say, it should be used like
Yeah.
as a help to contribute to your own, let's
Yeah.
say, research into your own content, and not be
Creativity. Yeah.
taken
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. No, and I think it's a great tool, and everybody should really spend some time learning it, because it's going to be
Yeah.
it's here to stay, and it's going to be all over the place. So investing a little bit of time every day to learn, what there's loads of new tools coming out every day with that, and it's really worth. And online marketing is definitely going to be affected by this, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
But don't you think like that in some point the ChatGPT generated content uh, placed on your website, it's going to be detected from a variety of different tools, and
Oh, there already is lots of yeah.
yes, and bring the opposite result. So instead of bringing your website forward, it's going to have a negative impact in your website.
Possibly, I don't know. I
Possibly,
think it will depend of who programs it, right?
yes. So everything is too complicated. I don't know. So I don't know if a viewer that saw today's video, he found value in that. But I think it's everybody's like let's say healthy questions uh, that we mentioned and we discussed. We are not gurus on the topic, but I think 99% are not. So
No.
the
We're all
way
learning.
we are all learning.
Yeah.
But well, I think if we can conclude, I think the advice that we are certainly it's correct. It's focus on one channel or two channels. Don't focus on everything. Find your niche, find your audience, do some SEO on low-hanging keywords, use LinkedIn and direct emailing, and you're going to be ahead of most people online.
Yeah, I think the secret for any marketing is consistency, right?
Yes,
you can't do it once every
of
month and
course.
hope things are. It's about being consistent. It's about showing
Absolutely.
up,
Absolutely.
and it's not going to happen overnight. So it's about being patient as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes time.
It takes time.
So very nice. Thank you, Maria, for today's conversation. Let's meet again in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And I want to wish everybody a happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody. Thank you. Thank you
Bye,
for
Alex.
being with us.